Can you hear me? Can you folks hear me? My brother's here. Can you folks hear me before I get going? Oh, the live feed is there. Can you hear me, folks? They can hear me? All right. There you go. Thank you, Dad. Jesus. Instead of standing here with a dumb look on my face. Welcome back. It's WIP Wednesdays. Wowwy'z Workshop. And I am Wowie. Brought to you by Two Brothers, One Vision. Welcome, everybody. Hello. I just saw my brothers just slid in here right at the last moment. How you doing, brother? Thinking of you, man. You're a warrior. I love you, Darren. Thank you for coming. I know you're having some hard times right now. Everybody is here. We got Amy Joe, we got Spike, we got Grumpy, we got Matthew, Happy Curmudgeon Carving, we got Dad Carves. Mark Tries to Carve is here. Hello, Mark. And your beautiful daughter, too, if she's watching. RC Peters is here. Suzanne was just here, Rhinestone Suzanne, but she had to step out, but hey, she'll be back. So how's everybody going? Frick, it is warm. Should I? Yeah, I'll take away some of the ceiling view there. It's a bit better. It is warm. Not as warm as some of you. Grumpy is really in the frickin' heat. He's like 94, I think he said. But, it's about 31 here, I guess, with the, I don't know, feels like 30, it's 31, feels like 34 or something. It is hot on the island, but hey, we all knew it was coming, so we just got to get her through it, and I got the fan blowing on me, if you see a little bit of this happening. 97 at where Dad Carves is. Jeez, eh? My goodness, folks. Well, I really appreciate you guys coming. It's warm everywhere. Yep, and Spike and Darren are talking back and forth there. So, folks, today is the day. I finally get the Steampunk Challenge carving finished. That's right, folks. The one I've been working. I started it here on one of our lives not too long ago, and you guys have been through it with me all along. And if you haven't seen it at the end of this one, folks, come along. Subscribe to the channel. Come along and see all of the crazy cool creations that we make. And then go back and find that live where we started the Steampunk and see it go through all of the stages. It's been quite the ordeal, let's just say. And that's for the Carving Fusion Steampunk Challenge Wood Carving Challenge. And I'm finally done. I could have kept on going, guys, and I could have just kept on, but at some point you got to say, hey, you know, we got so many projects on the go, you can't nitpick them forever. You got to, there comes a time when you just got to say, that's her. I'm very happy with that. But there's a couple things that we got to finish on it, and so we're going to do that while we're here today. And also, last time, some of you guys saw this little darling, or whatever that may be. We started that. It's part one of the Fiona project series. And we might play a little bit of that with that there. Do some power carving maybe. There you go. I worked a little bit more on the nose. But yes, that's pretty cool. I'm stoked about that because, as you guys know, it's a real usable flower vase. And it's going to have, I'm pretty sure I'm going to do the eyes closed and then just that, you know, content little smile. But I did a little bit of a chin there and I just worked a little bit more on shaping the nose. I'm going to take the brow. As you can see, the brow is just out of control. But I have to take in consideration where that beaker is, right? Aha. So, we got her on the go too. I guess I'm calling it a her. I keep doing that. And Bing is here. Some of you all know Bing. Just a magical, happy little thing. So we might do some sanding on her. It all depends on what I bumped that. Shouldn't do that. All depends on how it goes in here with the frickin' crazy heat. Tarek is here. Hello, Tarek. Oh, Jane's here. Hello, Jane. Thanks for coming back, sister. And welcome back, Tarek, brother. Boom. Oh, the good folks rolling in. That's awesome. Well, thanks. If Amy Jo was talking about this little thing. Thanks, Amy Jo. And I want to say I'm a proud new member of Amy Jo's channel membership dealio. And I encourage anybody, now that she's gotten to that point in her YouTube journey, go give her the support. It starts at $1.99 a month. How could I not sign up and support my sister? Hey, you're welcome. You deserve it. You deserve it. And I was surprised you didn't. Well, I saw one on there that was $1.99 for the Ultra VIP membership. Maybe one day I'll be able to get that one, Amy Jo. Just keep shining, sister. You know I'm one of your biggest cheerleaders. Whew. Amy Jo. What did you see? Yeah, what do you know? Amy Jo. All right. Okay, well. Oh, did I say we got LaRue's in the house? Everybody say hello to LaRue. You know what? Me and LaRue had a meeting about making, some of our own music with all the digital and the music making stuff, and some music that we own our own rights to, the copyright, and nobody can come and chase us down. And so, we did. We paid for a month. I'm going to make some more tunes so we can get LaRue back in action, and I'm kind of stoked about that. You guys know how much I love music, and I'm a musician, but I can't make all the music, I can't make all the art and music and stuff that I want, so a little bit of help from the from LaRue, and we're gonna get some cool new talent, just intros and stuff. And then for when we do tool talking, I like to have a cool intro for tool talking and for WIP Wednesdays and stuff. So yeah, more music is gonna be coming. And I own the rights to it, so ain't nobody chasing me down. Give me the shakedown. Oh, demonetize me right when I get going. Soon. I'll make it there. I will make it there. Jane's here. Baron Boss Lady is here. Heck yeah. Thank you, brother, for coming. And Baron Boss Lady gave old Wowwy'z Workshop a really, really nice shout out the other day. Just saying, hey, we love what you're doing, brother. Keep going. Don't get discouraged. Don't watch that stupid sub count. The stuff that gets eaten out of our brain. Just keep going. Just keep shining. We're all lighthouses here on YouTube. I'm here alone doing our thing and then sharing it. That's our shine. That's what being a lighthouse is all about. And that's our motto here. Rain Sandy's Woodworking is here. Hello, brother. And Sandy, sister. All the good people are here today. It's probably because I've been dragging on this frickin' Steampunk challenge carvings for so long. People want to see the gosh darn thing finally finished. I don't blame you. Well, he has a tendency with the chronic pain that I live with and the way my brain works. I have a tendency of constantly trying to find things to do, right? Keep my mind and keep my hands busy. And so when I've done a little bit on that one, and then, oh my God, I got to pick this. Look at what I can make out of that, and it's just like, because you don't want to stop. Because when you stop, that's when you can really, really start focusing on the shitty pain and shit that you're feeling. So yeah, I'm always just trying to keep going. What is it? The idle mind or idle hands are the devil's workshop. Whoa! Did I ever learn that one the hard way? Jesus. Kevin Strelly is here! Kevin Strelly! My wee plonker brother from the UK. It's freaking warm there too, Kevin. Thank you for coming. Kevin and Pauline, I hope Pauline's watching. Hello, Pauline. Much love. Much love from Wowie. Thank you for tuning in. That's awesome. That Baron Boss Lady, everybody's talking. Okay. Thank you guys all for being here. So, what has Wowie been doing? Yesterday, I worked. I do a little bit, and then I sit down or I lay down, and Then I do a little bit more, and then I decompress. Oh. What is this bandana here for? What could this be for? Huh? What's this little bandana doing on here? Hey? Yipow! Oh my goodness. What do we have here? Now, as you can see, folks, some work has been done. Some work has been done. Oh, and look it. The skull has a brow. Hey, well, maybe, let's see if this is a bit better. Holy Jesus, guys. What ya think? Dead men tell no tales. And this is, it is done forever. It is in there. Because you want to see what I've done. Signed, Two Brothers, One Vision. I'm sorry everything's backwards, guys. We got the hanging hardware. And then in there, that is the epoxy plug. Now, let me tell you how old Wowie figured this one out. That key was in there. I took a Forster bit and I bored it in there deep enough so that when that key was in there, I could finally reach the end of it. And these keys, it's a Russian spigot key. I remember Darren, my brother is the one who keeps reminding me, but it's a Russian spigot key that has a slot in it. You see that? This was another cool one. That'll be going into something to come. But, so that slot, right? And so, because I was thinking of how am I going to make that so that gets in there and it never comes out. That's how we do things around here at the workshop. Two Brothers, One Vision. We think the frick out of it, lose sleep over it, and then it finally comes to us. And so what happened is I thought about that, and so what I did was I got the hole and I got everything ready, and then I just thought about it, and I thought, okay, well, what do I need to slide into that slot? And I was thinking about it, and I'm thinking, okay, I need a piece of wire and kind of curved, and then I was thinking, should I take a long piece of maybe 10 gauge copper and get it in there and then wrap it around and shit. Like, I had all of these different ideas, right? And I'm thinking, and then I got this idea. I'm like, well, why don't you take a key ring and cut it in half, and then you got your piece of metal with the round. And then I thought a little bit more about that. And I'm like, key ring. And then it just went into my mind. Pull that bugger apart, and you're gonna have a coil. Okay. Now that coil could then get in there. You could get it in through that little tiny slot, and then get in there with some needle nose pliers and work its way through the slot. So that's what I did. And what you can see, just poking out of that epoxy plug, is the part of that keyring. So you get that in there, everything in there nice and Kentucky and tight, and then you put that keyring through that slot. I got everything as straight as I could get it, because even this spigot key itself has a tiny bit of a bend in the brass. Like, the things that are like off right now are like in the millimeters, if a millimeter, right? Here and there. And so I just got it to the point where it was optimal. I was finally happy with how it was. I even hung it on the wall and like looked at it from every angle and every light source. And then I said, nope, that's her. So I set it all up. And then I had two different types of epoxy. I don't even know which ones. It was Gorilla Glue and then some of this other stuff that's like this 2-ton stuff. I mixed it all up, set it all up last night, got it all set, and then poured in that epoxy plug, and then prayed. Because I prayed and prayed and prayed, because I didn't know, like things like water and stuff, like liquid, it can find its way out. So I kept on having to check to make sure that epoxy wasn't getting through and seep down, right? Because I wasn't sure if it was a 5-minute epoxy, a 30-minute epoxy. I didn't know. They were already used, but like half containers, right? So I just went for it, and thank goodness, man, nothing seeped through. I didn't touch it. I waited all night. I came out this morning with my butthole in my throat, not knowing what I was gonna find, right? But that's what I found. That's what I found, folks. Oh, what do you think, Spike? What do you think, Spike? Spike says fucking mint, and that is the response I was hoping for, brother. And I could still like take a bit more off down here, but you know the asymmetry still, even though I've been working my way in, I'm happy with it not being totally symmetrical down here, because it was just this big chip of driftwood, right? Cedar. Ow! And then the last thing, before I put everything in, I gotta be careful I don't drop this stuff. And I put that final spot in the brow. That little tiny. And I did that with my Kutzall on a Fordham 44T. Now you see this bad boy? That's the Kutzall in fine, the ball nose. Okay, guys? And if you might see, some of you folks might see that I got some links down there in the basement. Jeez, got some grease on me. I got links in the basement. And the reason we got links in the basement is because we're Kutzall affiliates, folks. So, if you use our link, you get a little discount on your way out at checkout, and it helps us out. And, you know, we don't do much for sales and stuff with Kutzall. We're more just like, hey, glorified cheerleaders, and we're going to get the good word out there because we use their tools all the time. But yeah, we don't make many sales and stuff, but so I thank Kutzall for their patience. But please, folks, if you do need a tool from Kutzall, use the link, help a Wowie out. It's great tools. So, what is left on the old Steampunk skull? We got the Maiden pane gash. Now, I didn't need to do that, guys. You guys saw, I could have hid that because it was a weird kind of deeper crack kind of thing there. I could have hid that in amongst the flames, but I didn't want to. I wanted to pronounce that because I wanted to make it a Maiden pane warrior. And our subs understand, and members, they understand what Maiden pane means. And so that was I had to put that on there. And also, to be totally honest, this is for the Carving Fusion Challenge. And so I wanted, as most of you know, Jordy had a TBI, a traumatic brain injury, years and years back. And he's a very inspirational fellow, the way that he's so strong in what he does. And he's overcome it, and he does his very, very best. And he's an acquired savant, is my true belief. And carving was his gift, okay? His acquired gift. And he can carve like nobody else. I don't know anybody else who can pump out the stuff that repetitively the way Jordy does, you know? I know there's lots of super top professional chainsaw carvers who do 100% honest realism and everything, but I'm talking about, you know, really good wood spirits, one after another, like, it's crazy, okay? And it's how I learned to power carve. My very first carving thing was from a Doug Linker YouTube video. My very first wood spirit, I should say, carving thing. But my very first wood spirit that I ever did was with an X-Acto knife, following a Doug Linker tutorial. And then after that, I found Carving Fusion. And because I'm a pencil drawer, I figured out that the flex shafts are like an extended kind of pencil. And I just never looked back, right? I still will whittle here and there, but I love to power carve. And so I wanted this Steampunk Challenge from Carving Fusion. I wanted it to kind of represent Jordy in a little way, all right? And the whole Maiden pane movement. So that's why we're doing that. That's why we're going to put the final two pieces of this puzzle. And they are the copper, they're like, Darren and I made this, and Darren reminded me, these little copper bars, right? They're like stitches, kind of. Darren reminded me, this was like 4-gauge wire that we heated up, cut into sections, and then I pounded that wire out down, and then shaped each one, and then we drilled either end, because we were going to make like a long necklace, because we do our photo shoots and stuff with the antler crown, and we like to make really, really unique jewelry to go with our photo shoots. For upcoming photo shoots, we haven't done any in a long time, but we still make things for the photo shoots, right? And that's what these were for. But I hadn't made that chain yet. And so when I got into this carving, I thought, what better little stitches, right? To put up there and show that this is a Maiden pain warrior, you know, stitched up but still freaking going, still fighting. That's what that represents. So that's what we're going to do today, guys. We're going to get those on there because it is time. And I've been looking at it, and the bottom one is going to have a little bit of a bend in it. So I'm thinking, because I don't got an anvil here, what am I going to do about that, right? And then it dawned on me. Sometimes, guys, when you need to get something done, go get a rock. Just get a rock. The wife painted this one someday. She did. One day she did. And I was looking at it, at like what type of bend this thing needed. And it needed just a subtle one. So, a rock and a hammer, get her done. Do it to it. That's what I want to do. Tap, tick, tack, tap, tick, tap, two. Whoa. Carving box didn't like that. Okay, try that again. Tick, tack, tick, tack, tick, tack, two. I'll bang on you on the fucking other side too. Let's see, did I get a little... Oh, need something a little bit more aggressive. Yep. Just a little bit. Now I can get a hold of that. Bam. Yes. Yes. That's what I like. Ah! Good old rock. Sometimes you just need a rock, man. You just need a rock. And I might actually try and give him that a little bit of a... Let me see. I got my pliers here. I'm just going to give it a... Just because I'm a little bit of a crazy person, I'm going to give it just a little touch here. Just so it's... This thing, you guys... Put a lot of time and work into these creations. We got to make it so it's just right. Okay. This is when I need my... need to be over there with my little brother, because when it comes to stuff that you need done in copper, Darren is the one who does it. Okay, and I made a little mar spot now. So, I'm going to have to go back to that little rock. Tap that out. Ding, 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 ding. Did that work? Bring that up a little bit. Okay. So, we are going to have to figure out exactly where we want to put that. And then I'm going to drill the holes. I'm going to drill the holes, pre-drill the holes. Still need a little bit more of a... Now I dropped the frickin' thing. A little bit more of a bend in that I need. Okay. Sorry, folks, a little tiny bit of a... This is like when you need that intermission music. Ding, ding, ding. Ding, ding, ding. Ding, 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 ding. Chow! You never know what is going to happen at the old workshop. All right. That helped. Little steel wool here. Shine these frickers up. And get them ready. There ain't no turning back, folks. Once you drill the holes and get them in there, there ain't no turning back. I can see that's going to be a common theme in this frickin' Larry dropping these stupid little... Jesus, wowie. Okay. Yes, yes. Okay. Well... let's get those holes lined up and marked and do this. There ain't enough left here down to do it, right? So I'm going to... I'm just using a little... just to make a little mark where the drill needs to go, because we're going to have to drill. Sorry guys, I'll just get this done here, and then I will fix the camera so you can see a bit better. This one wants to go here, so we're going to listen to it. Well, this is the bottom. This one's the top, because we've got to remember that. All right, bottom and top. Okay, next. Woo! Should I zoom you guys in a little bit on that? Let's see. Sweet. There. How's that? How's everybody doing here? Okay, everybody's doing good. Everybody's doing good. Thanks for being here. Yo! Okay. So, in doing what I did last night, I figured out what size of holes, because I got these, I found it was like, I was searching everywhere for screws, like finishing screws, to get this job done right. And I was getting to a point where I was getting real mad. Because I knew I had them, but I just didn't know where. And after some very colorful language, I found them. Over there in one of my machinist chests. And I did a happy dance. Okay, enough of that. So, what do you got here, Wowie? Oh yeah. Whoops, got a little bit of a cord situation here. Frick off. Alright. Get out of here. You! This DeWalt. This is a frickin' humdinger, guys. Okay. Well, excuse me. I'm just going to widen them holes a little bit bigger. So that screw don't decide to go and do something else. That screw, I mean that drill bit. Also, while I'm here before, I want to just... I just want to do this because I noticed that this side here has a bit of a knot right there, and it's really hard. I didn't do much thinking, like pre-thinking on these. Okay. I feel good about that. Time for the no turning back. Here we go. That's one. Oh, go! And one more. Didn't need to go that deep, wowie, but hey, when in doubt, carve deeper, drill deep. Okay, well, we got the, got the pilot holes in. Now, it's time to make that permanent. So, pick out 4 of these little, little brass screws everywhere. Jeez, man. Live television, folks. You never know what's gonna happen to me. Get fucking, sorry, Allie. Or if Mark's daughter is watching, I'm sorry. How long did I make it before swearing, folks? I really, really do try not to do that too much. Just in case the little ones are watching. So sorry. Wowie apologizes. You shouldn't use the F word. But I figured out from yesterday that this is the right screwdriver. Now let's do this. Oh, please. Please work. How I need you to work. Okay. Let's start with this one. This is when I kind of reflect on all the different phases of this project. And where's my steel wool? There you are. And how many times I ran through these steps in my mind. And we're finally to that part, right? Finally to the part where the vision is fulfilled. And it's a special time. Okay. Looks like I drilled all the holes correctly. Get that one in first. Righty-tighty. Don't go totally tight in yet until you get the other one in. Oh please, oh please, oh please. And with that, oh. The stitches are in, guys. What do you guys think? What do you guys think of that? Vision fulfilled, folks. Oh, wait, there's a little tiny screw up in here. Vision fulfilled! You! What do you think, Spike? We did her, buddy! We did her! Christopher's Creations is here. Hey, brother! How you doing, man? Thank you, guys. It's freaking awesome, says Amy Joe. Spike's got giving me the official. Oh, man. That's the shout out to the Maiden Pain Warriors and the Carved Infusion, you guys. And then Jordy knows what I say when I do something like this about dead men tell no tales. He understands the messages because we kind of come from the same world in our old lives, and there's a lot of meaning to that. And to having respect amongst brothers, and holy smokes, guys. Check! We are finished that one. Am I ever freaking relieved? Maybe let me just go out a bit here. Well, you guys get the picture. And that is that project. Matt Carves is here. Hey, brother. What do you think, Matt? Did I do all right? I really appreciate that, Chris. I'm really, really happy with this. It really played with my mind, and like lining things up and with lasers, and oh my goodness, did this ever really, really take a toll on old Wowwy'z mind? But it is done. So I am officially entered into the Steampunk Challenge carving challenge. Peace. Oh, wow. Let me just fix you here a little bit better. Oh, you don't need to be staring at Wowwy'z tummy. Okay, well we got through that part. So let's just have a little tiny break here. Old Wowwy'z is a little bit heated here. Heated. My goodness. Am I ever relieved I got this thing done? I tell you guys. I tells you. What we got? Be right back. Jamie's here. Might take me a few minutes. You worked really hard to get it just the way you wanted. Well sounded. Thank you, Matt. Yeah, I worked really hard to just get that vision, you know, fulfilled, as we like to say. Thank you, guys. I really appreciate your support and just being here through it all. As you guys saw when I started, I had used a chisel and a mallet to take some of the very, very surface of the driftwood. It had a big hump on the one side, so I took that off. But other than that, we just started with that slab of driftwood. West Coast driftwood. Oh, you turn that up a little bit. Let's have a little celebration fan. Oh, old Wowwy. Old Wowwy loves it. Lords of Gastown, folks. Support local. Man, am I ever happy that's done? Here, this is my proper wiping this black one across my face. It's freaking been out here for months and months. Probably full of Jesus. She's hardwood, folks. Thank you for all for being here. Looks wicked, says From Trees to These. Thank you. Thank you. Looks really cool, says Rhinestone Suzanne. Smashed it in my opinion, brother, says Spike. Thank you. Mark's back. Look, Mark. We finished it. We just put in the stitches. Maiden Pain. Warrior. Dead Men Tell No Tales. It is done. That's how we glued it in forever. Two brothers, one vision. I know it's flipped, I'm sorry. Bam! Done, Mark. We did her. And you've been here since this whole project started. Thank you. Thank all of you very, very loyal, awesome friends, man, to support us the way you have. We truly, truly appreciate you. Thank you, Mark. I'm really, really stoked with it. I'm really, really stoked with that. And I have a feeling like, I don't know, it's going to go, I have a feeling like it's going to someone. I don't know, I don't think this is going to live with me forever. I have a feeling that that's going to go to someone. Got to figure it out, though. I've been doing that more and more with my carvings, and people are going to notice that when if they receive anything from Two Brothers One Vision, or even if you're in Kindred Spirits Wood Carvers, if I get a chance to send off a prize package, you know, wow, he's going to stuff that full of love, right? And it just kind of dawned on me in this last challenge. I have all of these pieces that I put so much love into in my house, and yes, I can sell some, but you know what? Sometimes gifting something to somebody has so much more of a meaningful impact than getting $100 or whatever, putting it in your pocket. I know everybody needs money and everything, and I do too. And believe me, the wife really loves it when I sell a carving and then buy something for the house or whatever. But I've been realizing more and more that acts of kindness and just giving your gift. I think it was Pablo Picasso said, the meaning in life is to find your gift. The purpose of life is to give it away. And that really rings true to old Wowie. So people are going to start seeing if you got a package coming your way from me, there's probably going to be a creation in there. Just because I love and admire all you guys, and I really truly am grateful for your support. And this is how I'm going to show you. Grumpy says, I love my Wowie piece. Hello, John. How are you doing, John? Thanks for coming back. Spike says, me, please. Rhinestone says 100%. Yes, you understand, Rhinestone. Rhinestone got a very special blung piece from Two Brothers One Vision. A key that has probably been turned 1,000 times. It had a groove in it. And we don't use fake keys and stuff. We use real antique. And it's antique now, like our old skeleton keys, man. That's, you know, we're going on like 100 years almost for a lot of our keys that we make into our jewelry. 100 years old, some of them. So when we make something for you from our blung jewelry, it's authentic, and then it's meaningful. And then you then assign that piece of blung its mission. And that's why we love the key so much, because this is my key to happiness. This is my key to love. This is my key to success. Whatever have you. That's what that stands for. And it's just, it's something that I'm going to make it forever and give it away to people and sell it and do whatever. But it's a forever thing for us. Thank you. I love my Wowie antler. Says, yes, Robert got the antler. It was my first antler that I ever carved, antler wood spirit, and Robert got it, and it's extra special because I used the base of the antler with that weird ridge. I turned that into a cowboy hat, and my mom gave me that idea, and so it's a really special piece, Robert, and that's why you got it, sir. Also, Robert he happened to send me a really cool antler carving too, so, you know, you gotta get people back. You gotta get them back somehow, and Wowie always will. Wowie will always do it. It may take me a while, but you're gonna get it. Hello, happy curmudgeon. I love all my gifts, says Rhinestone. Thank you, sister, for appreciating it. That's what it's all about. I see people who, I see you, and I see the ones that appreciate. And I'm a very good bullshit detector and detector of fair weather friends. And you know what? Wow, we don't like fair weather friends. No. Show up and use somebody for what you can. Be like they're their best friend for a small time being, and then fuck off and go and do it to somebody else. No. I don't like fair weather friends. I like loyalty, and I will pay back loyalty. Okay, well, after that frickin' ramble. Ow! My goodness. We're gonna have to put this somewhere very, very special. I just want to do one of those standing proud with my creation thing. Man, was that ever a mind frick. I'll just say frick. I gotta make sure that's not gonna... Where can I put that safe? Okay. I think she's safe, guys. Karma will catch them up. Yeah. Yes, Spike, it will. It always does. That's the thing about karma, guys. You don't have to. Karma's like your backup in life. And when people F you over, you don't have to worry about it. Because karma happens. It's the laws of the universe. Whether you like it or not, it happens. So... hit that like button, folks. What do we got on here? 20 likes. That's pretty good for a Wowie. Please, double tap the screen. You know what happens when you give me a like? The algorithm hamster gets a pellet. And the algorithm hamster must get fed, guys. That frickin' hammy, let me tell ya. She's been coming around, the hamster has. Saying, hey, where's my dinner? So help Wowie out. Hit that like button. Give the hammy a pellet. And then someday LaRue's going to take care of that hammy. Sweep in there with his claws and fuck him right up. Oh, sorry. I did it again. LaRue! I'm just excited and happy, and so sometimes that's when my sailor mouth surfaces that I got from my beloved mother. Love you, Ma! Fucking love ya. Okay. Enough. I don't even know how what YouTube will do, maybe flag me or something. I don't know how all that works. Okay, well, with Bing, we have a few things. Just in the crystal holes, I have to widen them a little bit. A couple spots in there. And I was thinking of maybe like going in there with the old Kutzall. Is that called the dovetail? I'm not sure what that one's called. But you see how it's flat on the bottom? That's really, really good for getting into... if you're trying to get in somewhere in a hole and get it at a flat bottom, right? So I drilled the holes in there with a couple different things, and it's kind of uneven in there. So you may see me fly that bad boy on there and just go ving, 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 ving. And take care of that nonsense really, really quick. And what else? For Bing, Bing just needs, like, now we're going to really start focusing on Bing, you guys. Because Bing is a big project. And we got the... we got that nitpicking base. Oh, the base. Oh, this frickin' epoxy poured base, you guys. I've been battling with it, but we got to get that. We got to get what's left of the gloss. That was once a clock in the 70s. You guys remember those ones? Yep, that's Bing's base. So I got to get that epoxy off. And I just want the bare wood up here. And then around here, Spike gave me some really, really good ideas with like brass wire wheels. And I might have some for the Dremel here, but we were talking about bigger ones, so really, really. But while we're here today, we're going to, well, okay. I may work on Bing's holes a little bit, like I just said, but that's not very, very fun to watch. So what I'm going to do is we're going to work on this a little bit, see how the heat goes, okay? And possibly do some sanding on that epoxy, get Bing's holes sorted and straightened out, and that might be the day. That might be when I drop from heat stroke, but we'll see how it goes. We'll see how she goes. And yes, folks, like I said, the tools I use here, I use a lot of Dremel bits. I have the links. Some of the links that I use from the tools that I use are down there in the basement, in the video description, and also my Kutzall affiliate link. And like I mentioned before, if you go there and you use our link, there is supposed to be an automatically applied discount at the end. But sometimes people say they need the promo code. And just to be safe, this is backwards. DIB5 is your discount promo code. Okay? DIB5. I gotta see if I can change that and turn it to Wowwy or something. Maybe Rhinestone Suzanne can tell me how she did that, because I think she changed hers to make it a little bit better suited. Josh is here. Creation Dust is here. Hey, man. Yes, it is the inverted cone burr. You got it right. The inverted cone burr. Or the dovetail bit. That's a good one. I don't use that as much as I should. How you doing, Josh, from Trees of These? Look, Josh. I finished the my Steampunk challenge piece. Dead Man Tell No Tales. Dead Man Tell No Tales. So we just finished that. It's all done. Epoxy plug never come out. We just finished that. Thank you for coming, Josh. I know you're a busy, busy man with a lot on the go. I truly appreciate your support. So yeah, that's what's happening. Thank you. They do if they leave a will. Okay, I'm not sure what they're talking about, but that's okay. I never really know what's going on. I just focus on that camera. Oh yes, and this is also what's going on, Josh. A little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of a real deal usable flower vase. You see that? Glass beaker. So you put water in that and your fresh cut flower, and this bad boy is a real usable flower vase. So we're going to work a little bit more on that. I think we'll do that next. So what are my plans now? I like the thought that it's, you know, contently got the nice smiling face with the content. Now a person can, here I am doing the light thing again, but now a person can go underneath this bottom eye line and really give it an undercut to create the lid. I did that with with Grumpy's piece, Nefertiti Unmasked. I did that with her. Kind of looking like it was a closed eye. It was actually supposed to look like an alien eye, but then I didn't dye it a different color, which was my F up. But she looks like she has a closed eye, and you just kind of do an undercut there on that bottom lid, and then that can make it look like it's got closed eyes. But also what you can do is if you put a little line going across, well, you know, I don't know, like the more I look at it, that does look like her top lip. What should I do? Undercut it and leave that as the closed eye guy? Woodchucker is here. How you doing, Woodchucker? Chainsaw carver's in the house. Well, I don't know. Maybe I'll just leave the die for that. I'll work on the mouth, and we'll think a bit more on that eye, because it does look like a pretty nice closed eye already. And all I got to do then is give it a couple little wrinkles here for the crow's feet. Maybe a little tiny bag under the eye. Little tiny couple wrinkles, you know. Yes, leave it. It's closed eye, says John. Hello, Caleb. Everybody's here today. You see the old steampunk thing get frickin' finally finished. Jesus, wowie. Got too many things. That's what Rachel, Christopher's Creation said to me the other day. He said, first thing, he said, you gotta calm down in the heat, buddy. You're gonna kill yourself. I said, I know. And his advice was for me to maybe go upstairs in the studio today and talk about electroforming or something. Just do something in there where I had the fans on me. But actually, upstairs in the studio at my house is even warmer in there. And so even with the fans on me, I would have been hot up there too. So I was just like, nope, we're doing this. Because Chris said, you got 3 projects on the go. You gotta start, you gotta wrap them up well. You can't keep starting things, you know. But we understand that you got the crazy brain, but so he kind of he railed me in a little bit. Me and you both. I had to take a break from chainsaw cutting and went to power carving. Oh, there's Christopher's Creation. Says yes, sir. So yes, thanks, brother, because I took your advice, and like I said yesterday, I worked probably 5 hours on the steampunk skull. Just dialing everything in, like even like the mouth of the skull, if I didn't have it super like even and level, then the back plate and the keyhole wouldn't sit right. Like all of these things, man, come into play at the end, right? And so I was sanding and eyeballing it out there in the Jawhorse, and sanding and eyeballing it and using a freaking laser on it, and oh my god. But yes, I got her done. Got her done to the point where we could finish it today, and we are happy that one is finished. Woo! There we go. Miriam is here. Hello, Miriam. How are you doing? Welcome to the channel. Hope you can subscribe and hit that like button, because it gives the algorithm hamster a little pellet. Did you know that? And welcome. Thank you, Christopher's Creations. I really appreciate it, brother. And I appreciate all of you guys having the patience to, you know, hang with Wowie and see him through these projects. Because they're, you know, as you've heard me probably babble and ramble, and I'll say it again, that art is our therapy, it's our purpose, and it's for family, okay? We use our art as therapy. Both my brother and I live with chronic pain. He has neuropathy, and he has back pain from broken vertebrae, and he has a whole host of other medical problems. And so we use our art is to literally get through each day to keep our minds and hearts busy, you know? And so this is so important, you guys. You know, I'm just not some crazy yahoo here trying to make a buck or anything on this is our lives, okay? So to everybody watching, please, you'll always get the best from us. You know, I may not produce videos as fast as everybody else and stuff, but hey, when you get something from us, it's made from the heart, and we appreciate you. Yes. Right on, buddy, you said it. Thank you, Woodchucker. I appreciate you, brother. Boom. To the Woodchucker. So, I kind of rambled off there. You're going to see me use different tools here. Kutzall are some of them, but also I use Dremel bits. I like to use little carbide cutting, the little balls that you see everybody always sees. And it always says carving on there. And when I first started, I was like, well, what am I going to carve with that little ball? But they actually are very, very, very important tools in the arsenal. And when I'm talking for the people that are new to carving, when I say a carbide ball, this is what I mean. These little carbide cutters. Can you see that? Jesus. Yes. So for me, what I like to do, because I'm a pencil drawer, is I draw my lines on wrinkles or whatever I'm doing when I'm cutting in things. And I'll cut them in first with my little ball, and then I'll go in after with a little diamond burr or whatever, and then clean those cut lines up. And I just have a good way of, you know what, I got a kind of a nasty comment. I think it was on it was on a reel. And the guy said, you're wasting all of this money and time with these tools. and you could just take a chisel and a hammer, and he just left this big long thing that's basically telling me I'm a big waste of time and money with the way I carve. And I said, no, man, like I use hammer and chisels too, well, mallet and chisels. I use flex cut tools. That's what carving fusion is, right? It's a fusion of everything. And I said, I didn't give him any grief or anything. I just said, yes, point well said, but I use them all, okay? So yes, I could just take a little V tool and make that same cut, but sometimes I like doing it power carving. I like to cut the line in first and then clean it up. And sometimes, you know, by the time you've done it with the V tool and sanded and everything, it can take about the same amount of time. So it's all up to the carver, you know. There are no, you know, I don't like boundaries when it comes to art. And I don't like people telling me what I have to do, and I have to do it this way or that way, and you're a moron if you don't. No, that's not how art is. You know, you find what's good with you. And I had a real good time with those little ball cutters with my Ram microcarver. But my handpiece went, so I'm saving up money for that. But that was really good to put the little Carbide carver in there, in the microcarver, and then zing my little lines in really fast. So I got to get that fixed because I'm missing that. But yes, oh wowie, the heat's getting to me. What I was saying about the Carbide balls is the ones that I like to use most are in my Amazon links. I'm an Amazon associate, folks. We don't make any money off this, okay? But if you use my link and even if you buy something different, if you just use the link to get into Amazon, the algorithm all tracks it, right? And we do get a little, like a couple pennies or something on a kickback. But yeah, that. If you can use our links, then you can get the actual tools that we're using, like the Dremel 9905 and the Dremel 106. There's even the Dremel, the big box, the super awesome toolbox that comes with the 4300 and every attachment and a flex shaft. That's down there in the basement. Also the Jawhorse, which is an amazing tool. I bought mine off Amazon. I put that link down there in the basement. So yeah, the links that I put down there, it's all for a reason, right? Because it's the stuff that we use personally, and it's the stuff that I would, you know, it's giving my advice to you, and I wouldn't put something down there that isn't worthy. And also you'll see down there is the Dremel 7144. It's this little diamond burr. I love it. It just has turned out to be one of my very favorite go-tos. So when I use that little Carbide cutter ball to carve in a line or carve in a wrinkle, I go in afterwards with those little guys, and I clean everything up. And I just love that little. And you know, I can do it all. I could do it all with the Kutzall fine detail kit. But hey, I like my 7144 Dremel, and I will use it. So yeah, those are down there too. So sorry folks, it took me so long to say that. Jesus, wowie. Hey, we broke an hour in the frickin' blazing heat, so hey, we're gonna keep going. Some people think their way is the only way. Art is your own way of creating. That is right. Night Owl is here. Hello, Aiden. How you doing, brother? Oh, I gotta show it again. Gotta show Aiden. Whoa. Finished it, man. It is done, Aiden. Steampunk challenge. Complete. Thanks for coming, Night Owl. Thank you. Yes, there's that link for the 4300 kit. Thanks, Spike. Thank you for being on the ball, man. I love my mod squad. Plus, if you don't go to that link, you might end up getting some other piece. That's not the only one you're talking about. That's right. So if you just go through the link, and sometimes the ones that I have downstairs aren't in stock, or it could from the country that you're watching from. Amazon will still bring you to that product. It all works because I'm Amazon CA. But sometimes in the country, for whatever reason, lots of times it's for shipping concerns or whatever have you. it might not be available. But still, you use my link to get in there, and if you buy something else, like Woodchucker said, it still helps. It still gives us a little couple pennies, and we appreciate it. We need it, as everybody does. Thank you, Night Owl. I really appreciate it, man. I love yours too. You made an amazing owl for the challenge. Yeah, I'm just gonna let me hit this heart and this little celebration thing, and a couple of the old hundreds. For everybody who's entered in the Steampunk Challenge, you guys did awesome pieces. Every piece that I've seen on YouTube and on Facebook have been really, really good. So kudos to all of y'all. He hasn't, Jordy hasn't given the official date yet, but he did tell me sometime in August will be like the big whole roundup and stuff. And Two Brothers One Vision, Wowwy'z Workshop, is donating a Nomi carving to the prize pool. So folks, yeah, you can get a Wowie piece. You can get a 2B1V piece. If you get in that on challenge, you still got some time too. Spike says that Aiden's owl reminds me of the one in Through the Looking Glass. Yes, very much so. Really, really cool. And Perry did a really, really cool one. I don't know if I think Perry's on vacation actually, because Carving Wizard is usually here. But I know people got things to do and stuff. I just appreciate you when you do come, man. Much love to everybody. So, why don't I draw on a little, I'll draw on a little smile and start cutting that in. But also I gotta move that little, I'm just gonna work a little bit more on her chin. Make the spot for the smile. Draw the little smile on there. Cut her in. And just work on this piece a little bit more. And I will I'll set it up and zoom it so you guys can watch me. But yeah, we'll just do that for a little bit. Close our old WIP work session and see how long we can go in the heat for. Choo! So, how should I start and go about this? I'm going to just get my tools in order here, guys. Please talk amongst yourselves. Be nice. I didn't see Amy Jo come back yet. Jamie must have said, "Well, we can go eat one. We got stuff to do." Fist bumps to Jamie. Love you, big guy. That's a 7144 right there. Gotta put that in its special with all his brothers and sisters. Love that 7144 Dremel. Okay, so yes, to make a little bit more. Well, no, I will. I'm going to use a fine burr. I'm going to use a Kutzall, the smaller ball, in fine flavor, just to shape the chin a little bit more. And then I want it to have space so that you can get a smile in there, but I don't want it to look too witchy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in here and just create a little bit more space for that smile and just set that chin back a little bit more. So that's what I do first with the little Kutzall ball that I showed you there. And then I'm going to work on the nose a little bit, get a little bit more shaping on that, explain how I do that. And yeah, let's do a little carving here. And make a little noise. Oh yeah. Yeah, okay, I gotta take a sip. I promised my wife if I was gonna do this, close myself up in the shed when it's plus 34 out. You better drink water or you're gonna get it, she said. I love you, Spooky Doobie. Alrighty. Okay, I'm gonna get you guys better situated so it's funner to watch. Funner? Is that a word? So it's more fun to watch. Let's see. Ding, ding, ding. Let's see. Ring, 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 ring. Yeah, I think that looks okay. Put on the old PPE. Always use your PPE, folks. You only get one set of lungs and eyes and all them good things. So, use the PPE. Look after yourselves. And always do a spidey check. Because if you put your face mask on with a spider inside, it's not very nice. Okay. Here we go. goodness sakes, guys. Woo, she's warm. But yeah, I'm sorry, that was kind of painful, I know. Watching me have to go do the switching the burr was, see, that's when you got your micro carver. That's where that comes in way handy, right? And I don't have to do that switching back and forth craziness. No! That was warm! How? That was warm. Okay. Yeah, I can only go so long until my glasses fog up. And then gotta take a break. Okay, just let me, sorry. Better, get you better suited there. So, as you saw, in my weird ways, I went in there, I cut into that little smile for her, worked the chin back a little bit, so that I had place for the smile. And then these little bad boys, these little, what are they called? Crow's feet? Thanks. Well, Suzanne has to go. Bye, Suzanne. Runik's Workshop is here. Hello, man. Thank you, Runik. Appreciate it. Have a great night, Suzanne. Thank you, sister, for coming again. Wow, man, you're an amazing supporter, and wow, we appreciate you. You take care. See you soon. Thank you, Spike. Thank you, Happy Curmudgeon, Matthew. Slowly but surely. And see, I had my Pete Blair mandrel going there, but I just started, like I just reloaded it. And when the edges of the Emory cloth paper, when it's still like new, that can be really, really actually, you know, like, it can be aggressive. And when you're working with face grain, that's what this is called. You see how the fades, the grain of the wood is like this, facing forward and not on the edge grain. When you're working with the face grain, and if you go in there and start going crazy with the sandy mandrel, it'll actually go in between the lines of the grain, because some of the grain is harder than the other, and that mandrel will make like ripples. So you got to be very, very careful on how you go. Oh, So is here. Hello, So. Oh, Jaganeth Dispute says hello. Hello, Jaganeth. Hope I said that properly. Welcome to the workshop. I'm Wowie. Hello, So. Love that third eye. Thank you, Runix. Yeah, that's neat, eh? She does have a third eye. And also, so does Bing. We drilled out Bing's third eye for a crystal, in case anybody was wondering. Hi, So. Sorry. Very warm in here. And Runik, you're doing awesome work. As are you, So. I'm sorry I'm not, like, I do my best. I do a lot more watching than you guys know. And sometimes I just don't, sometimes I'm just laying there in pain and I don't, you know, I'm watching it all on the TV. And so I'm not making as many comments as I would like. But just know this, folks, that I'm out there. Wowwy's watching, and Wowie does support you all. It's just a matter of, you know, making my ways around, and I do my best. But believe me, I've been watching, and I've been really, really impressed by your work, sir. Yes, always learning. That's the best attitude to have, isn't it? We're always learning, and I learn a lot when I watch you working. I've always wished I was better at painting and stuff. And when I used to skateboard, I used to wish I could make my own graphics. That was like one of my dreams when I was a skater, was to make my own. I actually got a Sears snowboard once. Right when snowboarding started, it was like the cheapest snowboard you could get. And we didn't have a lot of money, single mom. but I bought a Sears snowboard, and then I taped that all off and painted it with, I tried to make it look like, I did it all with spray paint, but I tried to make it look like a Burton, and one of the Burtons I saw had like zebra stripes, but it was all different color, so I painted my Sears snowboard that way, way back in the day, and yeah, it was hurting looking, but it was nothing like your work, man. I had a TH birdhouse deck. Did ya? My very first deck was a the Powell and Peralta Tony Hawk with bonite in it. And bonite was this thing that they were selling for a while. It was like paper, but it was supposed to be super, super strong, but make the board lighter. That's back when like things were just starting to blow up with skateboarding. So my first skateboard was the Tony Hawk with bonite, the classic, the Hawk skull. And then my brother had a Steve Caballero. And that was our first real skateboards. Independent trucks. Santa Cruz O'Brien, nice. Nice, Grumpy. Paper, yeah, it was like bonite. It was just like a weird paper, but it was like in the plywood, right? In the plywood layers to try and make it lighter or something. You have a Caballero hanging in the shop? Nice. That's wicked. That's awesome that we got so many ex-skaters. Or maybe you still skate. My body won't let me no more, but let me tell you, I go there in my dreams often. Often. I often say, let me just say this, because I'm sorry to the people watching, but somebody once asked me what the best day of my life was, and one night, me and my friend Travis O'Shea, we were going out with two girls, and they were friends, best friends, and me and Travis were best friends. We went over there for a date night in junior high school, and we went on our skateboards, and Dalen was one of the girls. Her mom was out, so we were there doing the thing where we got a little bit of, stole some booze from a liquor cabinet. We're all getting a little bit tipsy and stupid, and we're making out with our girlfriends. And then Dalen's mom came home, and it was just like a movie. Me and Travis were underneath a bed. She came home, and she was like tipsy, and she was checking on the girls. And I remember that she was in high heels, and I remember her heels were always like clicky, clicky, like she was kind of leaning, because we were at like foot level underneath the bed. And then, but we got away with it. The girls lied, and successfully. And then her mom went back off to the bar. She was just down the road, and then we finished our night. And then after that. And it was like when you're young in love and the whole world's ahead of you. And then that night, Travis skateboarded with me back. He used to go to this halfway place so I'd get home safe. And I remember after Travis broke off to him to go home, and I just skateboarded my way. And it was 3 a.m. All the roads were clear. I was just pumping down the middle of the road, frickin' feeling top of the world. Like I had this new girlfriend, and kind of went farther with her than I had ever gone before. So you're all full of all of the adrenaline from making out. I said that's the best night of my life when I think back about how free and how young and in love I felt that night, and I'll never forget it. Just Carver Rob is here. All right. How you doing? Thanks. Sorry, guys, for story time, but I missed that freedom of being able to take a skateboard and just fucking go. And just go. Just the power of the pump, right? Just go from one side of the town to the other and raise all sorts of ruckus. Thanks for listening. Hi, Rob. Thanks for coming back, brother. She's a warm one, bud. Check it out. We got this little something or other she is. Flower vase. And doing good, Larry says, Rob. Look at this, Rob. Steampunk challenge. Completed, sir. Made in pain. Mark of a warrior. Dead men tell no tales. And you know all about that. Pretty neat, eh? That's my That's my Steampunk challenge entry. Wish I could have showed Jordy. I wish Jordy was here so I could show him. But I'm sure he's really busy doing something. Woo! Yeesh! She's warm. Thank you, so. Did you? Oh, yeah, you just saw that, eh? So, I'm all done. All done. Pretty good profile for a skull, I would say, hey? Just carve her up profile. And then signed, hanging hardware. I locked that in there, that key. All done. And after we finished that, I just started working on this little lady again. Just, you know, that nice content. Gonna have a flower coming out, you know, just happy. She's doing her job. She was made. This was made to be a flower vase. And so this little lady's just happy doing her thing. Doing what she was meant to do. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. Whoa! She's warm. Good job there. Thank you, Rob. Lover says so. Thank you. I love it as much as your it piece, bro. Do you, Spike? Really? Jordy is mixing concrete, lol. Oh, okay. Now I understand. Yes, he has those forms to make those really, really cool steps. I gotcha. Well, thank you, Rob. I appreciate your feedback, and anytime you tell me good job, I take it to heart because you know what you're talking about. And thank you, so. Yes, I'm very, very happy with that. And Spike, if you like that as much as the it piece, then you must really like it, because I know how you feel about that Pennywise piece. Thank you, guys. Thanks for supporting Wowie. So yeah, Jordy's pouring concrete. I understand now, 100%. He's been doing a lot of work there at his new place, and it's looking really, really good. He's shown me a couple quick pictures. He showed me my drawing that I did for him of the logo that we designed, and he has my drawing up finally on the wall proper. Took me long enough, Jord. Just kidding. But it's up there and it looks great, and all of his new stuff that he has displayed, and his big awesome table. I helped him get the feet of those table, like that gothic wrought iron table that he has with the faces. Yeah, it was this big thing where I phoned the guy and I pretended I was somebody else because Jordy lowballed him, and then he didn't want to talk to Jordy no more. So I had to phone to act like I was somebody else, but it was really Jordy. But yeah, I helped him get the legs of that really, really cool, awesome table, and it was a successful mission. I truly do, bro, says Spike. Well, thank you, man. I really appreciate it. It's a special piece. Gonna go to someone special, I'm sure. So what else, guys? What do you think? Pretty warm. Should I sand on Bing a little bit? Are you guys still okay to hang out and talk a bit more? Try and do the two hour, make her 15 more minutes? How are you guys doing? Do it! Do it, says Spike. All right. Because Bing does, I can keep on going on this little face here. And I will. Well, you know what? I was going to show you guys quickly. Yeah. I want to show you guys quickly just an easy way when you're carving a nose to get those nose humps on the side. I'm going to draw a line on either side, cut that line in with my little 106 again, and then I'll show you an easy way to make a nose look more like a nose than what I got going on right here. Okay? See, I go right down there into that deep dip down there. So even though my pencil lines aren't 100% even, yeah, I can see that one side is a lot higher. But see, this is what I start doing with my freaking mind. So I draw those little lines on there on either side, and then I cut just a bar. I just cut over top of the line. Like I leave my pencil line there. So let's make sure you don't do something stupid, Wowie. But you can't go back. All right, no, I think that looks all right. So yes, I'm just going to cut that in quick with my little tiny 106, and then I'll just shape the nose just a tiny bit. Okay, and just show you. Oh, what have I got that on my sandy mandrel there for? And I'll just show you. Easy way to do it. And then I'll sand on Bing's a little bit more. We got to get Bing to the point where we can start painting, guys. Bing's cloak. I'm working on our base, right? So many things to do. All right. Okay, I'm just going to cut those nose humps in there. Are you got to go, Sophie? Okay. Okay. Just checking. I have a hard time like following and stuff. Thank you guys for being here. Okay. I'll cut those little humps in, then clean them up a little bit with the 7144. Like I do. Like I do. Just a little bit of this, and a little bit of that, and a little bit of this, and a little bit of that. Hit that like button, folks. Give the algorithm hamster a pellet. Can you see? Will you be able to see me? Should it be a bit more like this? Yeah. And then I'll sand on Bing a little bit. Okay. PBE. I got, we'll make her for 10 minutes. Okay. glasses are foggy. Time to stop. Now, as you saw what I did there, just cutting in that little hump on either side. And then now that I have that established, then the stuff on above, you take that away bit by bit and clean it all up. And then what you're left with is a happy little nose. You see what I'm saying? So there's your happy little nose. You just got to take this material on either side there, and you can just follow the wood grain actually for this piece. And then that's how I'm making the nose happen. So yeah, that's how I do it. There's a couple different ways you can go about doing that. Probably, you know, people like Matt Carves and stuff that are watching me, probably Best Carve Rob too. Some of my methods might be a bit painful because I might be doing more than I need to, because I know you can cut quarters and stuff with certain bits and stuff. And I do that sometimes, but sometimes I just like doing things a methodical kind of weird way that I do stuff, because I just feel like I have more control, and I don't know, it's just how I do it. So, and then bing, like the sandy, what you saw there, I had Pete Blair's sanding machine that he made me, the one that's this one here, mounted to the wall. That fricker, man, that is strong. And that's what I do. I got to get all of those maker's marks that around on Bing's cloak all gone, so that when we paint in a flat color, they're not popping out everywhere and driving me crazy, right? So I will keep working on that until next Wednesday, and just watch for me. I'll be making reels and shorts and stuff for any work I do. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed today. Jeez, 2 hours we made her. Well, almost. One minute and counting. Are you gone, Rob? Thank you, brother. Oh, Matt Carves is still here. I love that you develop your own style, Larry. We easily recognize your signature through your creations. Thank you very much. Gotta go. Everything is looking good, Larry, especially like the vase. Thank you, Josh. Thank you very much, sir. Appreciate your support and your feedback. I love your carving. Thank you, Matthew. Yes, good show, Larry, says Matt. Matt, I just rolled in on while you were closing up shop yesterday, and I missed it. And I'm sorry, brother. I really want to make them. I want to make everybody else's lives too, you know. My apologies. And thanks for popping by, Rob. Looking for love in all the wrong places, right, brother? Appreciate you, man. And I appreciate all y'all for watching today. We made her, and we got the steampunk skull finished. What? Let's close off today. Looking at that bad boy. We did her, guys. We did it. We did it. And you all were there. Thank you very, very much. Good night from trees to these. Thank you. Thank you for coming. Thank you, Matt. I appreciate you, brother, for understanding. Very nice, says Jane. Jane's still here. Thank you, sister. Appreciate you. I appreciate all of y'all. Thank you for once again for coming to WIP Wednesdays. Wowwy'z Workshop. Be safe there. You be safe too. So stay cool, everybody. Look after yourselves. Look after your people. There is no YouTube without you. Well, we'll be back next week. Much love, everybody. Thank you. Wowie out.